Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can tell in today's video, we're here to show you the top 10 takeovers that you need in NBA 2K25. So, as you can see, we're on NBA2KLab.com here. You know, I will be promoting this later, but I'm genuinely trying to express to you guys, this is a very good site to use, and it's how I collected all the information for today's video. Shout out to them for being cool with me, even just like doing this and pulling all the info off their website. Granted, I've done my own sifting through this to look for the ones that I think are really good and convey them in a very easy to explain and very easy to see way. So, let's get straight to that. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. Try to get this one to like 2,000 likes. Alright, so let's show this stuff to you right away as I've collected the info, and then I'm going to come back and explain to you how I collected the info itself. So, you're going to see that I have a lot of subcategories in this stuff. I have poster machine, blur, we have deep post bag, stuff like that, lethal layup. All of these are essentially subcategories in the takeovers where it's the takeover ability. So we have things like poster machine, blur, deep post bag, lethal layup. There's 14 of them for that matter. So of the 72 total takeovers there are 14 abilities. So you'll see poster machine is right here, for instance, and this above the rim takeover gives you only driving dunk. It'll be plus 15 driving dunk right here at the maximum level of level 5. However, there are ones like ankle taker right here where you're going to see that they have 3 different attributes that are getting boosted. So like all 3 of these right here, it's just 2K Labs showing you that it's boosting all of these attributes, and in this case it's plus 7 into 3 different categories. So now let's explain to you how that's gonna work. I have it at the top right here. So rules, it seemed to me, and I definitely will vouch for this in retrospect, and guys, this is gonna be a really nerdy video, so you're gonna have to lock in, or you're gonna also just have to be the type of guy that wants to see info like this. But this is very good information for those of you out there that are trying to sift through this stuff and take in a lot of info before the game even comes out to be prepared for what's to come. So again, I'm doing this for a lot of very niche type of people that really want to see stuff like this, so I acknowledge might not be everybody's bag. But anyway, let's get straight into this. So it seemed to me that anything with a 1 rating boost, aka, you know, like just that 1 driving dunk being the only rating that was getting boosted right here with above the rim, everything gets plus 15 no matter which takeover it was, except for, you're gonna see sharp takeover right here. So sniper, spot up shooter, stuff like that. Sharp takes, if it was a single individual attribute getting boosted, it was plus 10. So it's understandable. They don't want 3-pointer being buffed like crazy, you know, so they put a slight nerf on it, which definitely makes sense in my opinion. A category where 2 ratings get boosted, aka just, you know, like let's say for instance driver right here, it's ball handle and driving dunk. Those get a plus 8. And then 3 rating ones give a plus 7 to everything. So for instance, as I mentioned earlier, you know, we have like skilled slasher, for instance. That's 3-point, dunk, and layup. All of them would get boosted by 7. The only one that didn't appear to get boosted by 7 was like rebounding takes. So that's one where there's like 3 rating categories on a rebounding take. It looked like they gave him plus 8. And that's actually pretty fire too, for that matter. And then I had an exclusion of horse and physicality. They had like plus 7s. And they were the only rebounding take that didn't give plus 8s. So anyway, those are the rules, those are the explanations, just so y'all know what to read on this info right here. Pretty much, I'm trying to explain that when you see something like driver, and then I explain that it's ball handle and driving dunk, you're gonna see the requirements then correspond with how you read it. So for driver, the requirement to be able to get this is 75 ball handle and 85 driving dunk. Now, this does not matter. We're not here to talk about these ones. We're here to talk about the ones that I've put a star on. So these are the ones that I'm highlighting as the best takeovers in the game. And I have at least one for every category except for lethal layup. Lethal layup looks terrible. I'm not gonna lie. All the rating boosts are terrible. The takeover ability itself is terrible. You can see at the very top, I've explained what all of these do. So like blur, for instance, is just easy blow-bys. If you want the full detailed description on it and stuff like that, you can either read it here or you could read it on 2K Labs yourself. You could just check it out. But yeah, I mean, I've condensed these in the most part to be very easy to understand. So anyway, let's get straight into this stuff and actually get into the info that I've collected now. So again, I think I've given you guys enough credentials as to how much time I've put into this. It was a lot. Let me tell you that much. So anyway, with poster machine, it makes meter dunks easier. This is going to be one of the best slasher ones in the game in my opinion. I definitely was thinking about segmenting this video into multiple different ones, but we're here for just one super long video, and hopefully it does well. It probably won't, but oh well. Anyway, slice is the one that I've determined is the best for me, in my opinion. So not only do you get the poster machine, which, like I said, makes meter dunks easier when you activate the full take, but along the way, you're going to get slice, which is dunk, speed, and agility, all getting buffed by, like we said, 7 ratings. I didn't have the time or the wrist durability, just so y'all know, to hammer in +7 on every single one. So just understand that those are the rules, you know. If it's the 3 attributes getting boosted, it's +7. What's also nice about Slice is that it's very easy to attain. So you can see right here, like, its requirements are only 85 driving dunk with a 70 speed and a 70 agility. For me, as like my slasher build, this is the type of takeover I want. It's going to give me speed and lateral quickness ability while also giving me more dunk ratings and making me have an easier dunk meter itself. So Poster Machine, looking fire for that. If you want something different, like I said, we have a lot of subcategories here that you can process this information on your own, but I'm not gonna be reading over all 72 of the takeovers, you know. I'm just here for the ones that I've highlighted that I think are really worth talking about. But Skilled Slasher, it's a pretty good one as well. Driver, like I said, ball handle and driving dunk both getting buffed, and again, the requirements are all here. So I would not recommend Kryptonite. I didn't like go through all the requirements on this one because 85 speed of ball was definitely a toughie in terms of being a slasher trying to get something like that. Seems like it's not really worth me detailing. But anyway, with Blur, it's pretty much easy blow-bys. So what was interesting to me about this one right here, and we'll talk about 2 in this category. With Flash, you're able to get ball handle, speed, and speed with ball. That's pretty fire for someone who wants to be like really on some ISO stuff, in my opinion, because Blur is going to be easy blow-bys, like I said. So to buff your ball handle, speed, and speed with ball is pretty clean. However, you could argue it's not even the best one in the category. So right here we have 3-point Architect. This is really, really good. So if you're an ISO player that has at least 93 pointer and 85 ball handle, this is going to be something that actually would be pretty nasty. So it's going to buff your 3-pointer by 8, and then your ball handle by 8 as well. And that was what's really nice about these 2 categories instead of the 1, where if you do a single category buff to your 3-point rating, it only is going to give you that +10 like we mentioned up here. But when you do it in the 2 category, it still gives you 8. So it's definitely well worth getting one of these where it buffs 2 ratings instead of 1 if you're looking for something that boosts your 3-pointer. However, this is one that's going to buff your 3-point rating while not having a takeover ability that's correlated with shooting the ball. So again, you combine easy blow-bys aspect of the takeover itself with also combining the fact that it's buffing your 3-pointer and ball handle. I think this is something where it's gonna create a situation where people have to play up tighter on you, and then it's easier to get the blow by on them. So for ISO PGs, 3-point Architect sounds really good in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, we probably should up the pace on this a little bit. Deep Post Bag, this is a really good takeover in my opinion. You can see it's back downs plus moves plus shots. It's an insane takeover, combining that all 3 of those things together with stronger back downs, better breaking ankles on drop steps and post spins and stuff like that, and to be able to hit the shots like the hooks and fades. Post scores are going to be nasty in this game, and not to mention it's boosting some pretty good attributes right here. So depending on whether you want to be an inside post score or an outside post score, aka, you know, like a Shaq type build, or someone like what Tonic and Joey do, this fundamentals one is going to be really good for those outside post scores when it comes to the whole, it's buffing your close shot, post control, and mid range. So it's not only boosting your hooks, but your post fades and your ability to still, like, you know, get the ankle breakers and stuff like that on the post spins and drop steps. But then you have the inside one with Barbecue Chicken. That's close shot, post control, and strength. So instead of getting mid-range, you're getting strength in this category. And you can see again, it's 80, 80, 80 for the close shot, post control, and strength. And then it's 85, 80, 75 when it comes to the close shot, post control, and mid-range for fundamentals. So they're both really good takeovers in my opinion. I have 2 stars on them, like they both have one. And I think Deep Post Bag is going to be something that people really use as a post score for sure. It's looking pretty nasty. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm pairing with NBA 2K Labs again this year. So in this time around, since it's so early, they're going to have early content such as the ratings you need for each badge and all the requirements with that are listed in, you know, visual form. We also have each takeover ratings boost, all the ratings that are boosted by every takeover. And a lot of this info, it's stuff I'm interested in seeing. Like that, for instance, is something I didn't spend my time on the game looking for, so you'll find it on their website, as well as the fact that I am super interested in that myself, so I'll be checking it out. And then also, as soon as the game drops, they're going to look for every animation requirement and list that on their website as well. Alright, so as for the premium content, this is where the banger is. Now, obviously, this is 2K24 information right here. To get the 25, you're going to have to subscribe, but 2K Labs is cool enough to let me show you the 24 info as an example. So, for instance, you got a lot of different ways to sort it through here. You can look through green window, speed, you can look for the fastest millisecond jump shot, you can look for the total make percent. So, for instance, on the early, middle, and late end of the green window, what the chances are, then all that combined into the total average. You can look through the most makeable shots to the fastest ones with the biggest green window to the ones that fit your position group between the guards, wings, and bigs. It's fire. you can find the bases and the uppers in here and combine that for the best possible statistical jump shot, and it's just a huge tool, so shout out to them for that. And then you have ranking of dribble moves per category, so it's going to be like behind the backs ranks against each other, showing you which ones are the best. There's like a letter grade on each of them tested by Koza, so he's going to be ranking all those dribble moves in each category. And then we also have dribble practice tools, so it's going to be showing you exactly how to do the moves on the controller, and then you can replicate it on the controller in their website as well. So for anyone interested in supporting me while also getting access to the content, you can go ahead and subscribe to the 2K Labs Premium right here on NBA2KLab.com. And then when you click register, it'll allow you a chance to put in a creator code of someone you want to support. And then if you put in code Laker at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your whole purchase right there. And not that some of you guys care, but just to let you know, I get a percentage based off only your initial purchase. So if you got the monthly, I would only get a percentage based on your first month. So if you do want to support me a little bit and plan to get like 3 to 6 or even a year-long subscription, feel free to get those, and I would really appreciate it. But I get that not everybody wants to, so if you want just the monthly as well, that's cool too. So anyway, that's code Laker at checkout. Appreciate you guys for watching. None of that, let's get back to the video. All right, moving along, we skip over lethal layup. Again, just the ability seems like it's not worth talking about in my opinion. Maybe layups are good, but if you saw my video from yesterday, I don't really believe layups are going to be something that's super meta, super OP like they were last year. We'll talk about that another time, or like I said, I already talked about it another time. If you want to check it out, feel free to. But anyway, moving along, Rim Guardian. So this is boosting blocking ability. It's just pretty much straight up like that. I mean, I could read it to you on the 2K Lab site, but again, I trust my condensement of the explanations and stuff like that. This is pretty much just, like I said, buffing your ability to block shots. All right, so for Block Party, I didn't explain this one because it was just OD. It's not worth running. The ratings weren't great, and it was just like something crazy like 90 block plus to be able to even get it. So anyway, moving along, we have Glass Warrior. This is my favorite one of the category here. You can see it's boosting your block, O board, and D board, and it's by +8 because, like I said, a lot of these rebounding related takeovers, and granted, this one is rim protecting take technically, but the ones that are buffing your rebound ratings seem to implement the +8s a whole lot more. So with Glass Warrior, you're going to have an 85 block requirement and 80 on both the rebounds right here. So 85, 80, 80. And it's going to buff it by 8, and I think that's a really good one for bigs in my opinion. Those are 3 very valuable attribute ratings to be working with. Rim Guardian itself though, not sure if it's a super important takeover, but I just wanted to highlight, you know, a lot of the categories. We also have the Stilt. This is a pretty decent one, so it's interior D, block, and standing dunk, but you need an 85 interior D with an 80 block and an 80 standing dunk. So the only one that's unrealistic to be on a lot of builds is probably the 85 interior, but still, it was something I wanted to at least mention. See the future. I put we know because I mean we know what see the future is. In case you don't know, it's pretty much you're going to track where the offensive rebound or defensive rebound is going to go before the ball even hits the rim. Now, in years past, it's varied quite a bit in terms of how quickly that actually pops up. If it's good, it's going to be a really elite takeover. If it takes a long time to pop up, it probably won't be great. But even still, Board Beast is a nasty takeover right here. So this is +12. to each offensive and defensive rebound rating, and then all you need is an 85 on both of them to be able to attain it. So with See the Future and, you know, Board Beast right here, bro, this is going to be crazy for inside bigs that are coming out here with like dominant rebound or like pro-am bigs and stuff like that. Again, See the Future I'd like to think is a pretty good take as long as it works well, and then combine that with the fact that when we're talking like these other ones that are boosting your attributes by like 2 per category, like for instance the other one that we showed earlier with like it was buffing your driving, dunk, and ball handle, that's a +8, fellas. You're getting +12 on this right here instead. That is insane. That's a lot of ratings. So Board Beast, it's up there in my opinion. Besides that, we have a couple more subcategories. Like I said, a lot of them that implement the rebound ratings, it's giving you +8 even though it's a category of 3. So it's like block, O board, D board. Paint dominance, decent one, you know. I mean, if you wanted those exact same categories that we just mentioned above on Rim Guardian, by the way, like with Glass Warrior, it's the exact same ratings and nearly the same requirements. It's a little bit higher on the rebounding, less on the block, so that actually works out a little bit, and it's still the +8. So what I mentioned as a great takeover for this, I only put the star on it because I think it's the best one of the rim take. This is debatably better than the Glass Warrior right here. So paint dominance, in my opinion, technically better, but even still, again, it depends on what takeover you actually want, like the ability that comes with it. Anyway, physicality, I just said it's the exact same thing as this one above right here, just swap strength of blocks. So it's strength, O board, D board, and it's only a +7 instead of +8. Moving along, blockade. Blockade is going to enhance brick wall, so it's pretty much just more dominant screens. And you can see right here, I chose grit as the one that I wanted to use as the example, so it's +8 on strength, O board, and D board. You need a 90 strength, however, with an 85 on each rebound. So this is going to be along the lines of like you need to be on a gold brick wall build that also does not like skip out on the rebounding. If you guys have seen a couple of my center builds, they both have like requirements that meet this. So with the Shaq build, the Embiid build, the #1 meta comp pro-am center, all three of those would be able to get this right here, the grit, and I think that's a pretty good one. I don't know how effective the whole brick wall takeover is going to be. It's definitely a new addition to 2K, but I'm interested for sure. Dishmaster. So this is like it said more accurate passes and a dimer boost as well, or you know, efficiency for your teammates to hit shots in all technicality of what the thing actually said, but you know what I'm saying. It's more of like a dimer boost and more accurate passes it mentioned, but I'm not sure how effective that's supposed to be. However, Break Igniter is one where that actually makes a lot of sense. So not only, like I said, would you get that teammate hitting your shots boost, but also on top of that, more accurate passes. That is fire for bigs out here that have 85 pass ac or higher, while also still having 80 of each rebounding. So you'd get +8 on your pass ac and +8 on the O board, D board, and you'd be throwing more accurate passes on outlets. I only put a star on this one just because I assume people want something that has to do with this, like for the floor general PGs out there. So if you are someone who has an 80 ball handle, an 85 pass ac, and a 75 speed of ball, you're going to be able to get the general, and that's going to be boosting all of this by 7. Because, like I said, that's how it works for pretty much any other takeover in the game that buffs 3 attributes as long as it doesn't have rebounding in it. Anyway, moving along, Silky Shooter. This is going to be a really good one for, let's say, like the mid-range shot creators or just the people who like to fade. And it's pretty much all the shot creator takeovers combined. So you got like the ankle breaker ability. You got like the off dribbles and the spin shots and stuff like that. So it still works for buffing your off dribble 3-pointers as well. So Silky Shooter would be a really good take ability, in my opinion. However, the ratings that come with it, it's a little bit tough to find great ones. Now, Offensive Artist right here actually is pretty good. It's +7 to the 3-pointer, mid-range, and pass ac. And as you can see, it requires an 80 3-pointer, 80 mid-range, and a 75 pass. So it's actually pretty attainable ratings. I'd like to think it's a very easy one to get. I think a lot of shot creators out there are going to like this type of takeover. However, if you are someone on the ones court who's trying to spam the mid-range because it's just a really easy shot to create and stuff like that, Midi Maestro gives you a +15 mid-range, and it only requires an 80. Now, for the point guards out there, Deep Bomber is going to be a really important takeover in a lot of people's opinion. So you can see it's just limitless, pretty much. It extends the range of how far you can shoot when you're in take, and combine that with the fact that we already have insane levels of being able to attain limitless in the first place with like Legend and Hoff and Gold and stuff like that. It'll definitely be something that's to be reckoned with, for sure. However, you can see the requirements for it are very, very high because they understand that this is a very good takeover. So this is going to be something that a lot of point guards use, 100%. So with Chef right here, you got mid-range, 3-pointer, ball handle. You need an 85 midi with a 90 3-pointer and a 90 ball handle. This is going to be one of the top takes in the game, 100%. It's going to be the thing that all the small point guards are running, the 3 hunters and stuff like that. The dudes using the screens 24/7, you know, it's going to be something they use a lot. Now, to be fair, I'm sure there's some people out there that value speed over ball handle. And in that case, Satellite's cooler for you, I guess, you know? I mean, like I said, it's just, oh, and also I put MKD, but you get what I'm saying, it's mid. It's the same thing, 3-pointer, mid, yada yada, and then speed instead of ball handle. So, yeah, I mean, you can read the requirements. I know having it in a different order than this one, the mid-range came first in this one, but the 3-pointer came first in this one, but you get what I'm saying. It's a 90 3-pointer for both. 80 mid for this one and 85 for the other one. Sniper is +10 3-pointer. That's all it is. And like I said, with these, you're getting +7 3-pointer. You're getting +7 3-pointer. It's like, I just don't really believe for something to be buffing only one rating that it's really worth. But I mean, if you don't care about any of these other ratings, you just want your 3-pointer buffed, I guess Sniper's a cool one for you. So I wanted to at least mention that. But yeah, Sharp Take is the only one in the game that's getting a +10 instead of +15 to the single individual rating. Because speaking of another individual rating, we have the Interior Force. So this one with Elevate is given +15 standing dunk. To come back to what the takeover itself actually does though, increased success rate for standing dunks and lays, aka it said finishing under the basket. So I'd like to think that it's just for standing dunks. It did say finishing under the basket, and I paraphrased that into standing dunks and layups. I don't know. I don't believe this is going to be buffing your driving dunk ability, personally, because they have things like this, you know, they got like Elevate, +15 standing dunk. The Xenos was interesting too, though, so I don't know why I didn't show Elevate's requirements, by the way, but I'm assuming if you're someone who's trying to get your standing dunk buffed, you probably have 90 for the, you know, the fact that you even do want to stick dunk and stuff like that below with the standing dunk. So anyway, I do apologize for that, but we're not going to try and find that in retrospect. Xenos was driving dunk, standing dunk, and close shot, and it required an 85 driving, 80 standing, and an 80 close shot as well. Now, it may be harder to get because of that 80 close shot requirement. I don't know if every, like, slasher out there is going to have this. Like, especially because I assume what this is going to be great for is like 6'10s and stuff like that have a high driving, high standing, and ideally want to achieve that 80 close shot to be able to get this. But anyway, moving along. Marksman, boosts ability to get open, it said, and then it buffs standstill shooting. So, like, I don't know what the whole boost ability to get open really meant, to be honest. I guess, like, because I know what it means, obviously, but I don't know what that entails in terms of, like, does it make your player move faster off ball? Does it give you, like, sharper kind of cuts and stuff like that? Who knows? But it also said that it buffs your standstill shooting. So for the spot ups out there, this is really good. Now, I have to mention to you guys as well, for those of you out there are making popper builds, like the ones that I showed that actually have a 74 three-pointer, this takeover requirement right here, Glass Gunner, this is a really good one, and it requires a 75 three-pointer. So if you want, and so does Fluid Shooter, you need a 75 midi and then a 85 three-pointer. So like that's gonna be a tough one to obviously get for like outside bigs or anything like that. But obviously that's not exactly who this is describing. This is more for off-ball sharps. Glass Gunner would be for those popper bigs, like I was telling y'all. And what's actually kind of broken about this too is that it's boosting your three-pointer by 8 because it's tied into the rebounding ones. So this is really cool in that regard because it's kind of broken because, like I said, something like Spot Up Shooter, it's boosting 1 rating and it's giving you plus 10 three-pointer. However, Glass Gunner is boosting 3 different ratings and it's giving them all plus 8. So that's really crazy. And I should mention one more time to you guys, obviously I'm talking about when you reach level 5 in the takeover. There will be less ratings that, you know, get buffed along the way, you know, between like a plus 2, plus 4, plus 5, plus 7, stuff like that, as you're at like level 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you hit 5, that's the buff I'm talking about right here. I don't have 7 hours to talk to you guys about what you're getting along the way for level 1, 2, 3, and 4 along the way. So yeah, anyway, Glass Gunner, really good. O-board, D-board, three-pointer. Requires an 85 on both rebounding. So if you guys want a lot of these rebounding related takeovers, you need 85 plus on both category. And that is tough because obviously, you know, a lot of people will be lacking that. Some people will go really high on one rebound rating and then low on the other. But to get a lot of the takeovers, you're going to need them both to be high. You've seen a couple of them already that are exactly like that, and this one is not any different. So again, for the outside bigs out there, that 7-1 meta pro-am center that I showed you, make sure you keep that in mind because I gave that build a 74 three-pointer. I am redoing that build 100% on day 1 and posting it to YouTube again just to showcase that that's going to be something that's really important to get at, and we'll you know, respec a couple different attributes here and there that are more important to get in retrospect. But yeah, besides that, anyway, like I said, Spot Up Shooter plus 10. 3 and D, very good. So it's 3-point, perimeter, defense, and agility, and it requires an 80, 80, and 70. So for those out there that, you know, I mean, it's a very self-explanatory takeover, 3 and D. If you're coming out there to shoot the ball well, and you want to get some defensive buffs along the way with some defense ratings, 3 and D's for you. I think this is a really good one, and it doesn't have crazy requirements. I guess if you're a lock out there and you want to keep this in mind as far as what takeover you would need, you do need to remember that you need an 83 pointer to get this. So you might even have to go down in the wingspan a little bit because 77 and 78 seemed like it was definitely the most likely rating to reach when you're on a max wingspan pure lock like 6'7 or 6'8 and stuff like that. So you might have to go down a little bit on the wingspan if you're trying to attain a takeover like this. And this is going to be a really good one. I'd like to think it's one of the best. Spoiler, we have a really good take right here, buff to on-ball and off-ball steals, so it's for playing passing lanes and pluck steals and all that. So gifted hands right here, it boosts your steal rating and your three-pointer by 8, because like we said, any rating that's getting 2 ratings boosted is getting plus 8, and as you can see, it's going to be requiring a 90 steal and 85 three-pointer. So it's going to be a little bit tough to get for pure locks. Once again, you're not going to be able to attain this probably. However, one you will be able to attain as a pure lock is pickpocket. So this is boosting your steal and prim D. So to get this, you're going to need a 90 steal and a 95 perimeter defense. To get the claw, it's a plus 15 steal. I'm sorry, I don't know why I didn't show the rating requirements for a lot of these plus 15 ones. I guess, I don't know, I just assumed that not many people are going to want to run them, to be fair, and I didn't think they're really good ones. Because I don't know, I mean, a plus 15 in a rating is kind of OD in the first place. I don't really care for it, but either way, you know, like I said, it's plus 15. So, last one, we have Vice. This is your clamps takeover essentially, or like, you know, Stonewall. It's giving you better body ups, force pickups, stuff like that, making people fumble the ball more when dribbling in front of you. So I think it's gonna be a really good takeover. You have things like glue, for instance, where it's giving you prim D, strength, and steel. The requirements are not too off the charts in terms of what a pure lock would be. Mirror, as you can see, is giving plus 15 perimeter defense, but I don't think that's gonna be worth, in my opinion. Something like Pest is really good. So like Pest, for instance, you're getting plus 7 on all the ratings, obviously, between prim, steel, and agility. And as you can see, it's going to require 85 prim, 85 steel, 75 agility. That's very attainable for lockdowns out there. That's even attainable for two-way type builds that just did exactly that. Put 85 on both ratings or something, you know? Got the gold interceptor with like the silver glove, and then has the 85 prim for like silver defensive badges as well. 75 agility should be pretty easy to attain as well. So Pest, I'm sure, will actually be a very easy to attain takeover. So anyway, that's all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on notice, all that good stuff. Like always, try to 1 to 2,000 likes. I will come back here to just show the takeover descriptions and stuff if you like missed any of this along the way, but it probably made a much tougher time to watch if you didn't really understand that. So hopefully you guys got the gist of that. But anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, put take or put takeover in the comments. George supports me all the way through. And again, shout out to 2K Labs. I'm sure I ran the plug somewhere on here, but go subscribe to their site if you're interested in content like this, because I'm telling y'all, it's something that I am like super interested in. And I'll even have another video coming very soon talking about the best way to use your badge max plus ones, where I'm just like going with a deep dive on their site that's showing how like what heights get a max plus 1 in the tier 1 and tier 2, because you're gonna be able to use 2 of them per season as well. So I'm definitely gonna do a detail on that. Obviously, you know, as I mentioned in the promo, if you use code Laker at checkout, you can get 20% off. So feel free to, you know, obviously indulge in that however you would like. But anyway, yeah, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. This definitely took a little bit more work than usual with my videos, but I'm cool with that. I was so interested in knowing stuff like this for myself and to be able to explain it to my teammates. And like always, when I find something that's valuable for me to know and for my teammates to know, I'm bringing it to you guys as well. So I'd like to think that this is very useful information and very good saving of your time and effort, considering you can just kind of click on the video and turn your hands off and just literally watch and understand and be able to be brought all this information. So if that helped you out, if you could drop a like on the video, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, that's all for vid. Hope you all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.